Morning. It's Thursday, July 8th. And this morning I want to tell you about a video that I saw, I think 2 days ago. It's a story of an Israeli humanitarian efforts team that goes to Africa and places where people are behind the times technologically and even just be missing the needs of everyday living. They go to villages that have no electricity and no heat and no water pumps, and they have bright sunshine. So the Israelis go there to install solar panels and to help these people get some of the basic needs in their lives straightened out so that they are not drinking filthy water from the ground anymore, so that they will have a water pump that works for the village, and that they will have electricity to light their homes and their schools. These are people who virtually live in darkness because they have no electricity. And the result, that affects their entire lives. It affects their health. So Israeli goes down there with this team and installed solar panels on the roofs of the buildings in these small villages, and hooks up an electrical system so that they have light. They have electricity and they have light. But more important than that, they have a water pump. They can pump clean water to sustain their lives. And why am I telling you this story? Israel doesn't broadcast this stuff. They're not out there telling everybody the great humanitarian deeds that they do. And maybe that's a big mistake. And it's probably a very big mistake because the Palestinians will take advantage of the media. And they display all the bodies of the children that have been hurt during the rocket firing and the answering attacks that Israel has done. So I'm talking about this because I want people to understand that Israel is not an apartheid nation. They are a nation that is constantly defending itself. And even in that way, many people begrudge them being alive. But they recognize the fact that they can do good in the world. And they're not out there publicizing these things. So they go to villages in Africa and other places. And they bring technology. And they help people change their lives. And I say to you, the Palestinians are fighting in terrible causes and how badly they're being mistreated, like they have nothing to do with it, like they are the victims. But they are not the victims. They are a nation of people that have no modern conveniences either. They are held back by the likes of the PLO and Hamas and Hezbollah because the only thing that they have in their hearts is hatred of Israel. And so I talk to you about these deeds that the Israelis do for humanity. And what deeds have the Palestinians done for humanity? Their major cause in life is to destroy Israel. Their major effort is the BDS movement, and that's all that counts. So when they hide their arsenal of rockets behind schools and behind hospitals and in places where they put their civilization in jeopardy, women, children, men, boys, in jeopardy because of where they keep their weapons. But do they send out a missionary to help other people in the world? No. Do they spend time learning? No. They spend time teaching hate and killing. And I'm sorry that I have to talk about this kind of thing at this point in my life. I would have expected by now all of this crap would have gone away. But it hasn't. It hasn't. And so this video that I saw was a joyous this video because when the lights came on and the water was rushing out of the pipes and the entire village is there to get a drink and they think about maybe they'll even be able to take a bath or a shower. And there's 100 people there with smiling faces and cheering. Why aren't there cheers in the Gaza? Well, maybe there are cheers when they've killed some Israeli or kidnapped some kid. But aside from that, in their daily living, do they cheer? Do they have a reason to cheer? No. But they will continue to survive and they will continue to live off the hatred that is being instilled by them, by their leaders, Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran. This could be a wonderful world if people would take a step back and look around and say, you know, we're making a mistake here. There's no reason for us to do this. But that will never happen. That will never happen. They're going to piss away whatever they got. They get any aid from the United States, they're building tunnels. They're not building schools, and they're not producing textbooks that tell the truth. So I know this is probably a very distressful rant. But that's what we're dealing with in this world. We can't look away. We have to face it and understand what we're dealing with. So I'll include a clip in this rant, and you'll see the smiling faces. And think about this. The U.S. sends money, which is pissed away by the governments of the countries he sends the money to. Not all of them, but a lot of them. So why don't we send people and engage with the population, the local populations? That would do much more good. So that's it for today. Bye.
Innovation Africa was funded 9 years ago with a very simple mission, which is to bring Israeli solar technologies to transform schools, medical centers, and most importantly, to pump water. We are operating in 7 African countries, and we have so far installed solar technology in over 100 villages. The reason why Africa is still in poverty is because of the lack of energy. Because there is no energy, people are still searching for water because there is no energy to pump water. People do not have access to vaccines and medicines because there is no electricity in medical centers. And because there is no energy, people cannot get good education. And yet, when you look at the sun, there is so much energy, so much potential. And if we could just harness the energy from the sun, we can change it. We've been using solar energy since the Innovation Africa. It's simply by bringing the same technologies, simple technologies, to make a change here in the villages.
Are you ready to have clean water? Yes!
Thank you for having come from Israel to take us away from the wickedness.
Thank you very much for the clean water.
You ready?
Yes!
1, 2,